Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to try and map out Elon Musk's vision for the next decade. And believe me, it's a future that promises to completely reshape our technology, our economy, and, even what it means to be human, all in the next 10 years.
Okay, let's just jump right in with what is easily the single most stunning prediction he made. We're not talking a small increase, not a doubling, but a tenfold multiplication of the entire global economy in just 1 decade. And get this, he calls this a fairly comfortable prediction, assuming, of course, that we manage to avoid a major global war.
So how in the world do we get there? It sounds impossible, right? We've structured this to follow his logic step by step. We're going to start with the engine of all this change, see how it gets a physical body, understand the economic explosion it creates, and then finally explore what it all means for us.
First up, it all starts with the foundational technology driving everything: artificial intelligence. Musk argues that we are right at this critical, explosive turning point.
At the heart of all this is a concept you have to understand: recursive self-improvement. This is basically where an AI teaches and upgrades itself. As Musk puts it, every new AI model is built by the one that came before it, with humans getting less and less in the loop.
And he believes we are on the absolute brink of this. He's predicting that this process, completely free of any human guidance, could be here by the end of this year and will almost certainly be fully automated no later than next year.
So the crucial point here is that this isn't some distant sci-fi future. Musk is stating that the hard takeoff, that period of explosive exponential AI growth, is already happening, right now. He even said, I go to sleep, there's some massive AI breakthrough, and when I wake up, there's another one.
Okay, so you have this digital superintelligence, but how does it actually do anything in the real world? Well, that's where the Optimus robot comes in. This is how that intelligence gets hands and feet.
And he's not just talking theory here. He laid out a very clear manufacturing plan. He expects to start a small production run of the new Optimus 3 this summer, then ramp that up to high-volume manufacturing by the summer of next year. The goal after that? A new and improved robot design every single year.
And if you want to understand the sheer scale involved, just look at this. To make this happen, Tesla is building a new 10 million square foot factory that is dedicated just to building these robots. That is a staggering commitment. All right, so you've got the AI as the brain, you've got millions of robots as the body, you put those two together, and now we arrive at the absolute centerpiece of his prediction: a massive, unprecedented economic boom.
This brings us right back to that incredible number. He's not talking about a few percentage points of GDP growth. He is talking about a 10x multiplication of all economic output, every good, every service produced on the planet in just a decade. To put that in perspective, the biggest economic booms in history, they were a tiny fraction of this scale.
And, as if a 10x economy wasn't mind-bending enough, he also predicts this whole revolution will happen alongside a new space age. Within that same 10-year window, he expects us to build a permanent base on the moon, land the first humans on Mars, and even build something called mass drivers right on the lunar surface.
So what does a 10x bigger economy actually feel like for us? Well, this leads to a future Musk calls the age of abundance, a time where the basic rules of our society could just completely change.
He makes this really interesting distinction between universal basic income, or UBI, and something he calls universal high income. UHI is only possible because AI and robots will produce so much stuff that the supply of goods and services will just overwhelm the supply of money. That leads to massive deflation, where everything gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
And this all culminates in a truly profound idea. In a world of total abundance, where AI and robots can create anything that anyone could possibly want or need, the very concept of money could become obsolete. It would just lose its purpose.
Okay, so for our final point, let's zoom out beyond that 10-year horizon. We're now entering territory where prediction becomes almost impossible, a point that people in this field call the singularity. Musk talks about this directly. He says it's called the singularity for a reason. It's hard to predict what happens. It's that moment when AI becomes so advanced that its actions and the future it creates are just fundamentally unknowable to the human mind. And that really leaves us with this final, massive question, one that sits at the very heart of this future he predicts. In the world Musk envisions, where all of our material needs are met and scarcity is just a distant memory, what will we strive for? What's going to drive us when just getting by is no longer the problem?